So you want to grow your family law practice, and I'll bet you want to do that without spending a ton of your resources, wasting your resources. What are those? Oh, yes, your time and your money on ineffective strategies. I so get it. So stick around with me, and I am going to show you the 3 top strategies for growing your family law practice. And as you are listening or watching to this recording, make sure, if you can, hit the like button if you're finding it useful. And of course, don't forget to hit the bing subscribe bell if you want to stay in closer touch. So let's dive in. Here's the problem. You probably want to be the best divorce lawyer that you can possibly be. And part of that is attracting really great clients. Now, the thing is that as we look in the world of social media, all the information that we are being bombarded with every single day, you are probably worried about making mistakes, wasting your valuable resources, your time, your money, doing the wrong strategy. And believe me, I understand that because, wow, did I ever waste a lot of resources and time on wrong strategies? Let me just share a few of them with you. One thing I did that was a massive mistake is I hired a fancy web designer, paid a fortune for a WordPress site that none of my clients could find me on. My organic marketing strategy, what I thought had been very effective, ended up all of the leads that people would naturally find me on Google went boosh, and it really impacted my revenue for a very significant period of time. Oh, and by the way, reach out to me if you want to know of a really great website resource that will certainly have those people reaching out to you over and over again. And oh, wait, finding you and your firm. Now there's an idea. I also spent thousands of dollars on Google advertising without really knowing what I was doing. So it was like throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something would stick. Nothing really stuck, or if it did, not very much. And then, of course, what ended up happening is the second I ran out of money and turned the ads off, bloop, so did my revenue stream. So did my clients stream. I didn't have any people who could find me. So that also fell off. Bloop. Remember that WordPress site I told you about? Yeah. Here's another marketing mistake I made. That website was so buggy and slow that whenever people went to go onto it, they would get tired of waiting to load, and then they would go on to another lawyer. And of course, when I asked the web person about this, they said, oh, well, if you actually have a quick loading site, you actually have to pay for that. I think it was the equivalent of about $24 a month to have it proper. And so, yeah, that person was not the kind of person I should have hired if they didn't understand that it was important for me to get good quality leads to my firm. Another marketing mistake I made is that I advertised in newspapers in huge expensive ads that didn't bring me any new leads at all. And then, of course, another thing I did was when I first went on my own, and back then we had Yellow Pages, the Yellow Pages ad I did said that I basically did every single kind of law under the sun. Because I had a new firm and because I wanted to attract the clients, I didn't want to let any fall through the cracks. So I said I did bankruptcy law, I did family law, I did personal injury, you name it, debtor creditor, everything. So I basically showed up as a jack of all trades, master of none. Do you think that worked? No, it didn't work at all. I also spent a huge amount of money on these big, beautiful marble signs in excess of $10,000. And one was on the outside of my building, one was in the inside. And what did that do? It made my law firm look like every other law firm on the street. So how was I going to be found if I looked the same as everyone else? Well, I wasn't going to be. Finally, I also sponsored events that had nothing to do with the kind of client that I wanted to attract. The point being, if you're going to sponsor an event where the people, the clients that you want to attract are engaged, not where they're not engaged. For example, as a family law lawyer who often asks for people who have children, the place where I would want to advertise isn't where people spend their retirement days, for example. So the list goes on and on. And why am I sharing this with you? Well, because I'm Val Heminger. I have been a divorce lawyer for over 25 years. I've owned my own firm for over 20, and I have made at least a kabajillion mistakes. And it was when I started learning about marketing, running a successful business, that things really began to turn around for me. And they turned around for me in such a huge way. I decided that I wanted to share all the things that I learned with my colleagues. That is you, so that you don't have to make the mistakes that I did. So now that you've waited all this time, let's dive into those 3 top strategies that you can use that can really market your law firm. It can grow your family practice in such a huge way. And you might have even heard me alluding to it, at least one of the things, a few moments ago. Here's number 1. Make sure you stand out. Think about what lawyers do and how they normally advertise, or the images that they have. Now, there's the skyscrapers and the skylines. Do people do business with skylines? No, they don't. There's the scales of justice, the pillars of parliament, the marble signs, or the people standing in their libraries like this with the books behind them. Think about it. How are people going to find you and your firm, and how are you going to grow your family law practice if you don't actually stand out from everybody else? So think about what's authentic to you, what makes you different, and make sure you show up in that way on your advertising so that you don't mistakenly become essentially like a goldfish in a sea of goldfish. Make sure that you stand out. The second thing you want to do, and again, this is an organic strategy, meaning that it will continue to work for you, pay dividends over and over and over again without you having to invest. And what I mean by that is that what you want to do is you want to get your really happy clients, the ones who are so happy with the work you did. You want to get reviews from them. You want to get their testimonials, and you want to post them absolutely everywhere possible. So make it really easy for your clients to give you positive reviews. For example, what I do when I have a really happy client, which is very often, I send them a link, and I said it would really be helpful to me and helpful to other families who are going through a change to find us so that we can assist them too. And people who are thrilled with your work are absolutely thrilled to help you out by giving a positive testimonial or review. And also, they want to help other people if you've done good quality work. We call that social proof. You know, you ever notice when you go to when you're in a new town or something and you want to find a good pizza place or whatever and you check the reviews? Well, it's the same thing for lawyers, only for people who are going through a separation and divorce, the stakes are much higher. Now, here's the number 3 thing. This number 3 thing to me is the most overlooked, ignored, underutilized, powerful thing you can do that takes a very limited amount of time and no money. Well, drum roll, what is that? What you want to do is you want to maximize your Google My Business listing. In terms of growing my family law practice, this is the best, most powerful thing I have ever done. And if for some reason I don't pay attention to my Google My Business listing for a period of time, it still keeps doing the work for me. There's a process involved. You want to ensure that you have a Google My Business page, because Google loves for you to have a Google My Business page. You get your physical location pinned on a Google map, and then you optimize your listing. I can't believe how many lawyers who are struggling to find quality clients, struggling to grow their family law practice, don't do this strategy. And it doesn't cost a thing, and it pays dividends. And when I say dividends, having those clients come through your door really wanting to hire you. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, I'd really love it if you hit the thumbs up button. And also, you want to stay in touch, there is the bell icon. You can click that and then you become a subscriber to my channel. When you do that, then you'll be able to keep being updated with respect to these videos and recordings. And if you want to discover more, please go to BeTheBestDivorceLawyer.com. That's BeTheBestDivorceLawyer.com. This is Val. So glad you're here. Much, much love.